Hey everybody, welcome back to Lead Therapy. All I have to say is wow, it's amazing how the gun community and our Second Amendment rights are just being attacked from everywhere, and we've got a big fight ahead of us. I don't know if you guys have heard about this. Most of you probably have already, about the new firearm policy for making gun videos on YouTube. And if you haven't, I'm going to just read it real quick. I will put a description hopefully in the link below. If not, if you just look up YouTube's firearm policy and you'll find it. It says YouTube prohibits certain kinds of content featuring firearms. Specifically, we don't allow content that intends to sell firearms or certain firearms accessories through direct sales, like private sales by individuals, or links to sites that sell these items. And that's an important thing I'll talk to you in a minute. These accessories include, but may not be limited to, accessories that enable a firearm to simulate automatic fire or convert a firearm to automatic fire, like bump stocks, Gatling triggers, drop-in auto sears, conversion kits, and high-capacity magazines. And they deem what they think high-capacity magazines are belts that carry over 30 rounds. Also provides instructions on manufacturing a firearm, ammunition, high-capacity magazines, homemade silencers / suppressors, or certain firearms accessories such as those listed above. This also includes instructions on how to convert a firearm to automatic or simulated automatic firing capabilities, or shows users how to install the above mentioned accessories or modifications. So it says shows users how to install the above mentioned accessories or modifications. So if it just shows you installing a magazine, oh, now it says high capacity, so hopefully a 30-round magazine might be all right, but you never know because somebody will just flag it anyway. But one of the key things they're saying is manufacturing ammunition. Well, that's all the reloading channels. They're going to be gone, and of course that's their end game. They just want all gun channels gone, and you know this is just the continuing on when they demonetized most of the videos, including mine. Most of mine, half of mine or more, that don't make money, that used to make money by the ads. There's no ads or very limited ads, and how a lot of the bigger channels have circumvented that is if they went through what they call affiliates. A lot of them are affiliated with, let's say, Optics Planets or other internet sites, and if they put a link in their description and you click that link and you buy, most times you buy anything, not just a certain item, but sometimes a certain item. If you buy it, they get a percentage, and that's how they've been making their money, because YouTube's not paying them hardly anything anymore. Well, it even says that now, that you can't even post the links that sell any of this stuff. So I mean, they're hitting it very hard, and plus all the stuff that's going on with, you know, gun control laws, and you know, I live here in Florida, so they passed, 3-day waiting periods, and you know, changing the age to 21. So it's just, you know, it's a big fight. One thing I want to point out is when I put this description, the link to this in my description, or if you just look up Google YouTube new gun policies, it'll ask you if this article is helpful, yes or no. And I put no, and actually a box pops up where you can write what you think about it. And of course I did. I wrote quite a few paragraphs, but was my opinion and the facts that I'm pretty sure that, you know, that I know at hand what they're trying to do, and that there's a lot worse things, as I mentioned in the video description, than what they have on YouTube, than guns like this, like my 300 Blackout, that they don't want to see at all. And so, but if you do this, just don't be nasty or anything like that. But just real quick, in 30 minutes, I was able to find, like I said, some more what I thought were worse things on the internet than showing guns or you know, manufacturing ammo or whatever. And just real quick, you can find Brazilian waxing videos I mean, just close up on the genitalia of women and men. There was a video of a guy waxing another guy's balls, and the guy's holding the guy's penis out of the way, and he's waxing this guy's balls. And the same thing with the girls, are waxing their vaginas, and it's just all close up. And there's, I guess, a place for that on the internet, but I don't think it should be on YouTube. And some of this stuff should be age restricted, but a lot of it is not. And so you know, they think this, you know, a gun is worse off than seeing all that nudity and close up. And the reason they can show that is they say it's either instructional video or some of the videos that are done with doctors, or it's art. You know, naked people standing around maybe with some flowers around them is considered art, so they can show it. But they don't want us to show anything to do with firearms. PETA, People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, has all these undercover videos trying to stop people and companies from, you know, hurting or killing animals. And, you know, somewhere in Mexico, there's a baby chicks that they have, you know, farm. I forget what they do with them, but any ones that are sick or they don't want at all, they will either, you know, throw them to the side and step on them and crush them. They will drown them in big vats of water. They'll even make a fire, and they show throwing them live chicks and throwing them into the fire. It's just absolutely horrible to watch. But they don't want us to show anything with guns in it. There's also undercover video of people going into these you know, different pet stores, and if any of the smaller animals like rats or mouses, and if they get sick, they have hundreds and thousands of them, and if they get sick or not feeling well, they will just take them, and instead of you know, doing something with them, take them to a vet. It's not worth it because it's a small animal, so they take them and they call it whack them, and they take their heads and they whack them against a hard object until they're dead. Or they put them in the freezer and they die a horrible death freezing in a freezer. There's also African tribal ceremonies, excuse me, that they show cows and they show goats. The goats they will hold down and they will slit their throats with big knives, and the goats will scream out just like a person in pain. It sounds like a person, and of course they're not killing them right away, and they're stabbing or slitting their throat into all this blood pours out, and they pour it in, you know, gallon buckets. How they kill the cows is a little bit different. They tie their horns to a tree, facing the tree, and then they hold the back end of other guys, and they take a big large knife and they either try to stab it in the brain or try to cut its spinal cord. And of course it's not going to happen the first 5 or 6 times, because you know, it's a big animal, and they just die a horrible death. And all of that is here on YouTube, but they don't want us to have any guns at all. And the last thing I wanted to cover is, of course, there's a lot of war violence that they have on there. And 2 of the things that I found, there's some type of protest or war in Yemen. I think it was protest. And I don't know if they were authorized, the police or the military, to shoot in the crowds, but they had snipers, and one was shot in the head, and his head was just halfway blown off, and the people were carrying him to the street. It's just a horrible thing to see. I tried to make this video yesterday, but my stomach was just sick to seeing this. And another one, there was some type of like a firefighter street fight going on. 2 fighters were popping their heads around the corner of a building and shooting AKs at whoever down the street, and whoever they were shooting at had something bigger than they had, and I don't know if it was a rocket or a tank round or something like that, and it hit the corner of the building, and all the shrapnel and pieces come back and ripped half this guy's face off. And so those horrible images are here on YouTube and are allowed to be on YouTube for their, you know, whatever their reasons are, but they don't want us to show anything like that. So that's what we're up against. It's a tough fight. We've, you know, the YouTube channels are staying around, but it's very tough because I'm seeing some of them. You have like Tactical Toolbox. A lot of his videos are how to, you know, put together, you know, ARs or other firearms, 80% lowers, and he's had to remove a whole bunch of his and put them on his own website. So there's a lot of stuff going on, but we need to try to fight as much as possible and keep us on YouTube, but also be on other platforms too as well. So let me know what you think in the comments, and we'll see you guys next time.